Welcome to Mediocre Gaming, and today we're playing Warframe. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and salutations. Today, Deadlock. Let's get to it. So the Deadlock Protocol update remasters and reworks all of the Corpus units and Corpus levels. But it also opens up a new codex mission, which you'll see as soon as you log in. And it gives you a little bit of background about what is going on. The original founder of the Corpus was lost, and in order to have a successor, you have to have some sort of proof that says that you are actually the successor to that original founder.
7 times. So, it is decided. The fleet has been retrofitted and redeployed to begin at once. For old things. By prophet and void, by the blessed handless founder, we hereby invoke the Deadlock Protocol.
Now, once you get into the Deadlock Protocol, one of the first things to do is to kind of check out their new digs, the Corpus digs, and see everything that's changed. And there's quite a bit that has changed. There's a lot of things that might look a little familiar, but a lot of it is going to be new or revamped enough that it doesn't look the same as it used to. Now, the first mission that you will do during this Deadlock Protocol is an interception. Now, unlike normal interceptions, you will need to run this 3 different times up to 100% in order to decode the message. And after each wave, then you will get a little snippet of the message and a little bit more information. Now, like I said, before you actually start the interception, maybe you want to look around and check out the Corpus ship and see what it looks like. Since there really aren't too many enemies in the ship before you start the interception, you can do that. The other difference between this interception and the normal interceptions is that this interception only has 2 control points versus 4 control points. So it should be relatively easy for you in order to complete this. As long as you have 1 under control, you will continue to gain some percentage at the same rate as the enemy. If you have both of them, obviously it will go much, much faster. They're relatively close, and line of sight is only slightly obscured, so it should be relatively easy to take out enemies. And you'll see right on the left-hand side of your screen when an enemy is taking over a control point. Between your weapons and your Warframe abilities, you should make relatively close work. Now, once you get all 3 messages, then you are done. You don't have to go to the exit. The mission ends.
It's Neff, all right. Hatching through.
It was a meager derivative portfolio and limited vesting options. I never knew my parents. But, as an orphan, poor, as I said, I found great riches within the tenets of our glorious founder, Parvos Granum. The Corpus became my son.
They fuzzed the band. Keep at it.
I began to see a certain similarity. I wondered, who am I really? After a protracted negotiation, my birth mother sold to me the secrets of my conception.
Wait, what? Get that signal back.
Program. It was an epiphany. It would seem that I am one of the sons of our late great founder. And, more importantly, his heir. Now I have only to prove it. That is where all of you come.
The brass on this environment. I have to protect my people from this trust fund lunacy. Do your thing. I'll check in with my Whisper network. Let you know what they're saying. Talk soon.
Once you finish the mission, you'll go talk to Utico and Biz on Fortuna. They'll talk about how Granum was the head of the Corpus and how he disappeared, and how Neff is trying to show his noble birth. But there is some confusion because Granum disappeared without a trace, and there's no physical evidence that would show how any of his successors are who they are.
One Parvos Granum. Yes, part of a deal Granum cut with the Orokin themselves. Granum was no amateur, he had real power. Our ear inside says Neff's techs have found a lead on Protea's whereabouts. Protean traces, they're calling them.
Granum, the original taxman. Killed when someone, a board member most likely, sabotaged the void drive of his personal transport. Neff wants gene proof, but there's nothing left to scan.
And yet, so they believe, they found Granum's Warframe bodyguard, who was with Granum when that void drive went critical. So, who is to say what's true?
Our people are vanishing because of this. That's true, I know it. I don't care if Parvus Granum is dead, alive, or making change tap dancing in a Grenier officer's mess. Sparky, you find what Neff's looking for. You'll find out what happened to our people. Get on it.
So of course you'll go on another mission to see what is going on and how Neff is planning on going through with his succession plan. Obviously it would be really bad for everyone except for Neff if he was ordained as the leader. Once again, you'll be on one of the Corpus ship levels, and of course that means that you will have the ability to go around and explore and check out how the ship levels have changed and how much is new. While investigating the ship, you find that there's void disturbance, and you're trying to access the computers in order to figure out kind of a little bit more of what is going on. Now, to preface this, Utico has said that operatives for Solaris United and just denizens of Fortuna have been disappearing, and she was certain that Neff was behind it, or at least had a hand in it. And this really points the finger in his direction as you're going through and hacking their computers. Now, once you complete the objectives, then you'll have to get to the exit on this stage.
See if you can.
Another engineering blunder? We need confirmation. Reset and get our next volunteer into position.
What was that?
I think it was a void temporal shift. I'm not entirely sure. I've never seen one before. Small, though. Not as big as a person. Patch me into the system. Could do with some noise while I'm eyeballing the bits.
Death on you. You are found. Remember those days of Protea. Your failure, our victory. Without the Solaris, your aspirations are nothing. Return our Solaris brothers and sisters, or to nothing. So I swear, you will return.
Why my God?
No! Fizz! What is that thing?
I'm not. Outworlder, hold position. I'm getting something.
He'll pay for this. He's killing our people for some kind of weapons test.
Maybe not. That jockey shrink.
What kind of signal?
I don't know yet. Outworlder, don't let them have the signal before I can decode it.
What is this? What are we looking at?
The jockey's feed.
Sparky, you better get out of there. Well, we make sense of this.
Now once you complete this mission, you'll go back to Fortuna and talk to Unigo once again. Now at this point you have a pretty good idea that Neff is using the Solaris United people as unwilling volunteers for his plans, and Unico and Biz want them back.
Hero worshipped the woman she became. You're enough.
If Neff intends to visit that pocket for his proof, he won't risk himself. Not at first. Sparky, you can beat him to it. Biz has figured out how to activate Neff's Granum tributes. You won't believe this.
These tributes are essentially coin-operated. You'll need a Granum crown. You'll have to search the ship.
Neff as the Corpus figurehead, with the United Board behind him, will be hell for us and workers everywhere. See if you can get across first. Tax whatever proof he's hoping to collect, muck up his plan, and find our people.
So you're going to go into another mission, and of course it is the Corpus ship again. At this point you might be getting a little bit of exploration fatigue, so you might want to go just to, or straight to, the objective. Now once you get to the objective, you'll find out that you're trying to intercept and take out the Corpus Treasurer. Now the Corpus Treasurer is holding a Granum tribute, or a coin, Granum crown, which is used at the tribute in order to open the doorway or the portal to the Void Realm. So once you get to the tribute, then you'll go ahead and put that Granum crown, and there are different levels of them, put that into the tribute. So much like the old arcades, you put in the coin in order to play the game. It'll transport you to the Void Realm, and of course this is the first time that you'll be able to physically be in this area. There'll be a conversation that you'll hear, mostly a monologue from Parvos Granum. There'll be some enemies that you need to fight. You'll see some more monologuing, and then you'll be transported out, because that was the plan the whole time. The plan was to get the Tenno into the Void to restore the Proteus Spectre. This, of course, can't be allowed to continue, so of course you'll have to do something about it. Find a way back into the Void and take out Granum or take out the Proteus Spectre, one or the other. Neither of which will be very easy, considering Neff has all the technology in order to get into the Void, and Protea can manipulate time itself.
We've got a lock on you, Welder. Good luck.
It has been so long since these old eyes beheld another living thing here in the sanctuary. I am Parvos Granum. Thank you for finding me.
I, the Void. You are alive! My faith never wavered.
I live. Treachery seethed within the heart of the faith I had built when the board's assassins overloaded my transport's void drive. Protea, my beautiful Protea, and her gift for manipulating time preserved me. But at the cost of all that she was. Now, she is nothing more than a specter of her former self. My beautiful Protea. That is why you have been invited here.
Father, permit me to show you all I have built in your name. Do Neff Onyo that honor.
My name. I have watched you. Monuments to narcissism, demanding others sweat in your stead, gorging upon that which you have not earned. Watched as you claimed for yourself my teachings of self-reliance, perverting them into a flaccid philosophy of sloth, of idleness. Is that you, my son?
No, that must be a different son.
You know nothing, falling short as you do of every ideal that I value. Your words, your efforts, are the model of inadequacy. I called you, Nathaniel, but I do not need you. I need them.
There? Tenno? Father! You're making a mistake. Come now.
Protea has scanned her kin, and with that, she is reinvigorated. Now, my lovely, if you wouldn't mind, show our guests the door.
We've got a lock on you, Outwelder. Good luck. What the hell? Outwelder, I'm pulling sensory feeds from a trip you haven't taken yet. And hearing myself say things I've never said in a place I've never seen. Parvos? Yudi, you should see this. What if Neff has similar logs?
At this point, you'll get a message from Neff saying that he wants to cooperate, at least to some extent, and in a peace offering, he gives you a blueprint for the Zorus melee weapon. Now, of course, he didn't give you all the parts for that weapon. You'll have to do another mission in order to complete it.
But my fleet and your workers are facing the same danger. Convince your Tenno servant to re-enter Granum's domain and disable that Proteus Spectre. I have just the thing they'll need, but there is some assembly required. You want to rescue those comrades trapped in there, and I want to keep the past where it belongs. Dead and buried. Deal?
So in order to complete it, you will have to complete a spy mission, once again on the Corpus ship. Now, although these puzzles will look very familiar, they have a few differences, so I will point them out here, just so you can see, and then we'll move on from there.
Looks like a partial find. Let's see if our new cipher works as promised.
I am calling it the Spectre Particle. As my Archimedeans explained, mimicry is in its nature, and echo
Exposed to precept circuits, we are able to imprint behaviors, like an infant mirroring her surrogate. Only this infant can set the world on fire. Drake control us. They hit our research site with a Warframe assault team. Of course they did. I baited them to do it. The whole site lit up. 18 megafan bloom. The whole lab vaporized. Those Warframes with it. Fire. Fusion. Fire.
Now once you finish the mission and get all 3 items for the Zorus melee weapon, then you can put it together. You only need those parts plus a few thousand credits in order to do that. Now once you do that, you'll need to put that into the melee slot. And then you'll go on to the next mission. And the next mission, of course, is the final mission that you have to do for the Deadlock Protocol. And once you finish this, then you'll have the blueprint for the Protea Warframe. Now, when you're doing the fight with the Proteus Spectre, even before that, now you'll have to learn how to charge your melee weapon. So you get some kills with the weapon, and then the weapon will glow. That'll let you know that it's charged up. And then when you throw it and then you activate it again, you'll have this radial blast that will disrupt the manipulation of time and the void. So this will get the Solaris United agents out of the void, so they'll no longer be trapped. And of course there are 3 agents that you can see here. Once you get all 3, then you'll face the Proteus Spectre. And of course you will still need that Zorus melee weapon, and it will need to be charged. So the big thing that I can recommend to you is that you have that melee weapon charged at all times. So all the flying enemies that are coming at you, go ahead and use them as target practice to charge up that melee weapon, and then damage Protea however you can. So whatever Warframe and whatever weapons you want to use, once you see Protea go 1 bar down, and of course that's not talking about the shield, but rather the life bar, she will activate her 4th ability. Now this ability will bring back her life if you don't interrupt it, and this is where the melee weapon comes in. So make sure it's charged before you get to that point. Once you get to that point, she will activate her 4th ability, and you'll see some particle effects right around the Spectre, and that is your notice, your indication that she has activated that fourth ability, manipulating time and getting her health back. So if you don't stop it, then she'll regain full health, or the health that she had previous to the last time that she activated it. And of course, you will have to do that 3 times. It'll be activated, you interrupt it, and then she goes down 1 bar. If you don't interrupt it, then you'll have to do it again. So of course there are certain warframes that will work better in this situation, certain weapons. If you use something with radiation, the flying enemies will target her if they are closer to her rather than you. But again, it's up to you. Whatever you feel most comfortable using will be just fine. One of the recommendations is using Mesa or Mesa Prime, since the 4th ability can quickly take out a whole bunch of enemies relatively quickly. But that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to check us out on social media, and thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. And we'll see you next time.
Charge. Now, target the enclosure trapping our jockeys. We'll need to trigger your Zorus to discharge the impact.
By now, your friends have noticed that the overloading void engines are preventing the exits you opened for my captives from closing. Well done, and goodbye. Enjoy your stay.
Outworlder, you've got to get out of there. That's it. The cycle's degrading.
Huh? The Protean trace is gone? Where is he? Where is my father?
That temporal effect again. And yes, there are your sensory feeds, just like last time. So, the Zorus worked. In a battle that never happened. Or did it? I have a headache.
Our people are calling in, Sparky. They're coming home. Tonight, all Fortuna will be singing a verse in your honor.
Reunited. Parents to children. Family to family. Take this time to hold one another, for tomorrow our struggle continues. We will persevere. Know that our emancipation is writ in the stars, with Solaris and Tello united.
The system shall change. No more clutching at sunk costs, imposed ideals, hand-me-down hopes. No. We are better than that. Corpus shall know a violent restructuring, but with time enough to face the impending threat from Tau with renewed and absolute vigor. Or not. Perhaps the rot is too deep. Perhaps the father should abandon his children. Perhaps it is time for a new philosophy. Life's just a bargain like any other. Yours is no different. Would you like a seat at my new table? Perhaps with your masked friends alongside? The business, was it? A curious name. And Utico, of course. All people who know what they want. I know what they want. But what about you? Tell me, friend. What is it you
desire.